Welcome to this how-to video by the English department. Today we're going to be looking at paper 1 question 5, which will ask you to write a description or a narrative. It's worth 40 marks, 24 for content and 16 for your spelling, your punctuation, your grammar. Sentence variety and fancy punctuation, essentially. First, let's be clear about what the examiner is looking for. You'll be given two options. Usually this will be a picture and some kind of statement with an opening or an ending to a piece of writing. You should focus on description and focus on the picture in front of you. Don't be tempted to write a story. It will most likely end in disaster. Remember, it is a description based on the picture, not of the picture. You therefore have creative control. This picture is similar to the one used in the summer exam last year. The following video will explain how to answer the question by following this structure. Pause the video for a moment and read it. Okay, this is a structure designed to allow your writing to be creative while at the same time accurate. It's a structure that's come straight out of my brain box, so it's not perfect. But it does allow you to do sort of the same thing for any picture that someone puts in front of you. It involves writing a sort of extended metaphor about death. You've always been better at dramatic, grim writing, so we may as well go with it. You base your writing on the picture. If it's a gorgeous beach, heaven. A war zone, hell. Somewhere random and ambiguous, purgatory, which is supposedly the place between heaven and hell where one goes to be judged. You're playing on the idea that the reader will spot the metaphor about halfway through, after enjoying half a page or so of pure description. Here are some key ideas. You should write in the past tense as the person in the picture. If there's no person in the picture, just invent one. Who that person is up to you. You should stick to the structure until you can consistently achieve your target grade. Only then you can mess about with it. You can do this badly. Don't. You write in an extended metaphor using a cyclical structure. This means that the end and the start are the same, creating a loop. It stops you going mad and writing a story. Remember, the more accuracy, the more marks. 6 out of 16 for SPAG is unacceptable. If you follow the structure, you should end up with all manner of devices and techniques. You want to look out for repeated ideas: water, fire, walls, travel, weather. Things will crop up again and again. Think about what they could symbolise. For example, water could symbolise drowning and depression. Repeat ideas that you've done before. Create your own semantic field of death throughout your piece. You need to start hinting early on and not leave it till the end. If you mess up the writing, then remember, it's game over. It's just too many marks to lose. Step 1. Planning. You'll need to plan to ensure that your writing has depth. The first thing you'll need to do is to look at your person in the picture, the person who you're writing as, and write down 10 words to describe how you feel. Then you'll be looking for 5 little details, probably things that you can see. Then you'll need 3 similes. Try not to repeat things that you've already written about in your details. And then you'll need your metaphor, either heaven, hell or purgatory, depending on the picture. You'll end up with slightly more than you'll need for your first paragraph. You'll end up with something that looks like this. At this point, stop and think. What am I writing? Who is this person? How and why am I dying? You'll need to think about these things in order to construct your metaphor successfully. Paragraph 1. Use your notes and follow the structure. You'll start with 3 of your adjectives, a dash, and the phrase "I felt like I was dreaming." It's so ambiguous that it means anything and everything. You'll follow this up with 3 sentences that start with prepositions. Extend your prepositional phrases. Something like "behind me" is fine, but it's a bit too short and a bit boring. Just add some adjectives and your sentence will very quickly grow. Follow this up with 2 of your similes stuck together with a semicolon. And finally, your metaphor. Paragraph 2. It's a 1-sentence paragraph and it's a rhetorical question. You'll need something quite ambiguous. Really, you need to just learn about 5 of these and have go-to ones depending on the picture. Something like, how do I get out of here? Where am I? The tense doesn't really matter because you're going to play on that idea later. Paragraph 3, your life paragraph. You're looking for 3 sentences, one small, one medium, one large. The last is a metaphor which explains itself after a colon. This paragraph acts as a flashback. It's deliberately ambiguous as to when life was this way. First time round, it could be last week. After the reveal, it is the life before death. You can write these and learn them, as they have little to do with the picture. It's an excellent revision task. Paragraph 4, senses. There will be a separate video for this, as it is usually where things go wrong. You're aiming simply for 10-ish sentences with a mix of sentence starters and structures. Aim for approximately 2 sentences per sense, but don't say the senses. It shouldn't read like, I could see, I could smell, as that's clearly rubbish. The senses are merely used as you struggle to describe, however you always have your senses regardless of the picture. This paragraph acts as your reveal. By the end, your metaphor should have appeared. End on being able to see a choice or light or your future. This paragraph needs to be about twice the size of your first paragraph in order for your cyclical structure to work. If it's too short, you'll arrive at your first paragraph too quickly and it will just look like you've run out of ideas. Paragraph 5, a second rhetorical question which allows you to link back to your opening paragraph. Again, these can be learnt ahead of time, but you'll want it to have something to do with the end of your sentences paragraph in order for it to flow properly. And finally, paragraph 6. You're going to repeat your first paragraph, but you're going to change it to the present tense. It therefore implies that wherever you are, whether it be heaven, hell or purgatory, that you are still there, which is quite unsettling. Here your original ideas can be read in a new light. Your subtle hints become more obvious. Your hints throughout should then be clear. You should subtly hint at your extended metaphor throughout the entire piece, and like any good twist, it shouldn't register with the reader at first. They should spot it when you want them to. Like this. Your entire piece should be about 2 pages in normal sized handwriting. If it's not, revert back to this structure and work out where you've gone wrong. You can see the pieces in red are where you've hinted at the fact that you've been dead all along. You didn't spot it the first time because you just weren't looking. As a thinking question, could you use this piece for another picture? What bits actually refer to that bloke on the bus? And what bits could you magpie and reuse? I think the only things that actually refer to the picture are the pieces in red. Good luck, and send any questions towards your class teacher. If you want any specific waggles for any other pictures, please come and see me.